Hi all, so this is Mohit Rathi here, and in this particular video, I'm going to give you guys a quick overview about what exactly is SEO, which is search engine optimization. A lot of people would give me technical definitions like Mohit, SEO is nothing but optimizing your website as per Google's algorithm. SEO is nothing but making sure your website is well optimized so that the rankings are improved, etc., etc. But guys, I'm over here to simplify SEO for you. Okay, so SEO is nothing but there are only two things that you need to understand in SEO. Number one, you need to understand the meaning of SEO. Number two, you need to understand the process. Okay, now the meaning of SEO, if I have to explain SEO to a layman, what I would do is I would say, let's say you're visiting Bangalore for the first time and you're visiting MG Road for the first time, and it is somewhere around 5 o'clock in the evening. You don't know which is a good restaurant in MG Road. So what you would do is you would go to Google and write good cafe in MG Road, or good North Indian, good South Indian, good Chinese restaurant in MG Road. Now guys, understand one thing. In MG Road, there are 50 plus cafes, but on the first page of Google, there are only 8 cafes. And in the top 3 results, there are only 3 cafes. So SEO is nothing but getting your website on the first page of Google. Why the first page of Google is important? Because whatever cafes that you see in the top 3 results get maximum customers compared to the other cafes. So SEO is nothing but getting your website on the first page of Google for relevant keywords. This is very important, guys, for relevant keywords. Basically, you don't want your website to be on the first page always. No, you don't want your website to be on the first page. Only if people type in specific keywords, you want your website to be on the first page. In this case, the keyword is cafe in MG Road. Only if people write cafe in MG Road, you want your website to be on the first page. So that is called as relevant keywords without paying money. You are not paying any money for this. And how much time will it take? It will take 3 months to 6 months. I'll tell you in which scenario it will take 3 months, and in which scenario it is going to take 6 months. So guys, that is the meaning of SEO. It is nothing but getting your website on first page of Google for relevant keywords without paying money. And how much time it will take? It will take 3 to 6 months. Now, once you have understood the meaning of SEO, it is the time to get started with SEO. Okay, so the process basically consists of only two things. There are only two things that you are supposed to do in SEO. Number one, keyword research. Number two, the SEO itself. Okay, what exactly is keyword research? Keyword research is nothing but you guys need to first figure out which are the keywords for which you want your website to rank. Okay, so you guys need to first figure out which are the websites for which you want your website to rank. So that is called as keyword research. Now, when you're doing keyword research, there are two things that you need to consider. Number one, type of keyword. Number two, how to choose a keyword. Okay, type of keywords are basically short tail keyword, medium tail keyword, and long tail keyword. Short tail is 1 or 2 words is called as short tail. Medium tail is 3 to 4 words is called as medium tail, and long tail is nothing but more than 4 words. So for example, digital marketing is short tail, digital marketing agency is medium tail, digital marketing agency in Bangalore is long tail. Okay, now usually what people think is let's start with short tail keyword because the traffic is going to be high. However, it is highly recommended either start with medium tail or long tail keyword, because this is going to get quality traffic or targeted traffic to your website. And once you're ranking for medium or long tail, ranking for short tail becomes much more easier. Okay, so याद रखिए keyword research में first you start with what are the type of keywords. There are 3 type of keywords: short tail keyword, medium tail keyword, and long tail keyword. And then always go with medium tail or long tail keyword. Okay. However, there is a few more things that you need to consider. You need to consider the search volume and search difficulty. Okay, you need to consider what? The search volume and search difficulty. So let's say that I have decided I want to rank my website for the keyword digital marketing agency in Bangalore. Okay, I have decided. But before deciding this, I need to figure out how many people actually search for this keyword every month on Google. Okay, let's say if 0 people are searching for this keyword every month on Google, then it makes no sense to rank for this particular keyword. So you guys need to figure out what is the search volume of the keyword. Now, how do you find out what is the search volume of keyword? Guys, there are multiple tools that you can use. One tool that I would recommend you guys is you can go to something called as Uber Suggest. It is a Neil Patel ka tool. Otherwise, apart from Uber Suggest, you can also go to Google Trends, etc., etc. So I'll go over here. I'll write digital marketing agency in Bangalore. So this is the keyword that I'm writing over here. I'll change it to India, and then I'll click on search. So once I click on search, I'll get all the data related to this keyword. So let's see what is the search volume. So the search volume over here is 3,600 people search for it every month. And the SEO difficulty is how much? SEO difficulty is 20. Okay, so let me come back over here. So you need to first figure out what is the search volume and what is the search difficulty. Now under search volume, higher the better. Okay, if the search volume is higher, it is better. And then there is something called as golden keywords. Golden keywords is basically the current search volume might be less, but you're assuming that in future a lot of people would be searching for this keyword. One classical example is let's say something like cryptocurrency. Okay, so if you had written a blog on cryptocurrency back in the year 2011, 2012, 2013 or 14, that time the search volume was very much less. Then in 2018, the search volume became very much higher. So you're predicting there can be certain keywords for which you think the search volume will increase in the future. However, the current search volume that I would recommend is at least 300 to 500. Uber suggests me it should at least show you that at least 500 people search for this keyword every month. Then it makes sense to work on that keyword. Okay. Along with search volume, you need to also figure out what is the search difficulty. Okay. Under search difficulty, if the search difficulty is between 0 to 30, then it will take 3 months for it to rank. Okay. Uh, let's say go back over here. If you see SEO difficulty is what? 20. So that means if you want to rank for this particular keyword, कितने महीने का efforts चाहिए? It requires an effort of at least 3 months. Okay. If the search difficulty is between 30 to 60, 6 months of efforts. If the search difficulty is between 60 to 80, then 12 months of effort is required. If it is 80 plus, I highly recommend not to touch this keyword. Okay. Now, what is the search difficulty? It is nothing but the current websites which are ranking. For example, there is a keyword for which Amazon is ranking, Flipkart is ranking. That means you have a direct competition with Amazon and Flipkart. So that is the reason why search difficulty is much more higher. So whenever it is 80 plus, you usually require a complete team to work along with you, etc., etc., etc. So understand, search difficulty में 0 to 30 रहेगा तो 3 महीने लगेगा, 30 to 60 रहेगा तो 6 months रहेगा. For beginners, I recommend only go for either 3 months or 6 months. This is also important because before committing to the client, your client will always ask you, Ki Mohit, how much time will it take for my website to rank? So you need to first find out what is the search difficulty. And if the search difficulty is, let's say 45, then you need to tell your client, sir, at least 6 months lagega. Okay, so that is how search difficulty works. Now guys, that is all about keyword research. Keyword research में बस आपको type of keyword में medium tail या long tail select करना है, उसका search volume देखना है और search difficulty देखना है. 60 plus रहेगा तो अभी फिलहाल touch मत कीजिए. ठीक है. Now once you have figured out what are the keywords for which you want your website to rank, let's say you have figured out 3 to 4 keywords, then you start with the SEO. उसके बाद आप SEO शुरू करते हो. SEO के अंदर भी आप क्या करते हो? SEO के अंदर there are 3 different things that you can do. Number 1, on-page SEO. Number 2, off-page SEO. Number 3, technical SEO. Okay. Now, on-page SEO refers to something to do on your website. On-page SEO is very clear. It is nothing but something to do on your website. Off-page SEO is something to do outside your website. Off-page SEO is something to do outside your website. And then technical SEO is nothing but a few technical files that have to be set up. Okay. There are only few technical files that have to be set up. Now, usually people think that the weightage of on-page SEO is much more higher because it is something to do on your website, right? Website के ऊपर काम करोगे तभी website rank करेगा. इसलिए a lot of people think that on-page SEO carries the highest weightage. Okay. However, on-page SEO used to carry the highest weightage back in the year 2011-12. Okay. Now, what is happening is on-page SEO का weightage है 30%. ऑफ पेज एसईओ का वेटेज है 60% और टेक्निकल एसईओ का वेटेज है कितना? 10% इसका वेटेज है. टेक्निकल एसईओ एक बहुत ही छोटा कॉन्सेप्ट है, सो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टॉक मोर अबाउट इट. नाउ ऑन पेज एसईओ के अंदर क्या होता है? 30% वेटेज के अंदर 20 फैक्टर्स है. व्हाट आर दोस 20 फैक्टर्स? इट इज नथिंग बट द मेटा डिस्क्रिप्शन, द इमेज अल्टरनेटिव टेक्स्ट, and then you have the title tag, you have the H1, H2, H3, etc., etc. Basically on page के अंदर जितने भी फैक्टर्स है वो सबको पता है. ठीक है. ऑन पेज के अंदर जितने भी फैक्टर्स है वो सबको पता है. 20 के करीब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर्स होते हैं ऑन पेज एसईओ के अंदर. उसके बाद आ जाता है ऑफ पेज एसईओ. अब गाइस देखिए, यहाँ पे ऑन पेज का वेटेज है 30%, उसके अंदर 20 फैक्टर है. तो ऑफ पेज का 60% वेटेज है, तो उसमें कितने फैक्टर्स होने चाहिए? ओके. if you're into mathematics, you would directly tell me, Mohit, at least 40 factors होने चाहिए. However, the answer is There are only two factors, guys. Okay, yes, you heard me right. There are only two factors in off-page SEO. There is something called as backlinks, and then there is something called as social signals. I'll explain you both, that what exactly is backlinks, what exactly is social signals. Okay, यहाँ पे backlink के अंदर आ जाएंगे. So backlink is nothing but, let's say I'll give you an example over here. So this is Mr. A and then this is Mr. B. Okay, this is Mr. A and this is Mr. B. दोनों के पास एक एक website है. Mr. A has written a blog and the blog is on what is digital marketing. Okay, Mr. A has written a blog and the blog is nothing but what is digital marketing. Mr. B has also written a blog on what is digital marketing. So दोनों ने एक ही blog लिखा है, what is digital marketing, what is digital marketing. Mr. A has followed all the on-page factors. Mr. B also scores 100 on 100 in on-page. दोनों का on-page SEO is completely good. Both of them score 100 on 100. However, there is this guy over here called as Mohit Rathi. Okay, there is this guy over here called as Mohit Rathi. Mohit Rathi has written a blog on his website, and in that blog, he has written, if you want to know more about digital marketing, visit Mr. A का blog. Okay, मोहित राठी ने अपनी वेबसाइट के ऊपर एक ब्लॉग लिखा है. उस ब्लॉग के अंदर he has given a hyperlink, and that hyperlink says that if you want to know more about what is digital marketing, go to Mr. A का website. Now you guys tell me whose website will rank on top of Google. Is it Mr. A or Mr. B? Well, it is definitely Mr. A. Why Mr. A? Because Mr. A has got one backlink. You can call it as one vote, but in digital marketing, we call it as what? We call it as Mr. A has got one backlink. And from whom is he getting backlink? He is getting a backlink from Mohit Rathi. Mr. A is getting a backlink from whom? He is getting a backlink from Mohit Rathi. Understood, guys? तो इसलिए Mr. A का वेबसाइट ऊपर रैंक करेगा. However, now Mr. B also gets a backlink. Okay, Mr. B को भी एक backlink मिलता है, and this backlink is coming from Times of India. Okay, so Times of India has also written a blog on their website, and Times of India has written that if you want more details about what is digital marketing, visit Mr. B का website. Okay, visit what? Visit Mr. B का website. Now you guys tell me whose website will rank first. Is it Mr. A or Mr. B? Both of them have got one backlink. Okay, the number of backlink remains the same. However, Mr. B ka website is going to rank on the top. The reason being that Times of India is much more reliable source, or you can call it as it is much more powerful website than Mohit Rathi ka website, right? Times of India ka website kya hai? बहुत ही powerful website hai. So when we are talking about this powerful websites, so basically there are websites that will give you 1,000 points. Okay, if you get a backlink from this type of websites, आपको कितने मिलते हैं? 1,000 points मिलते हैं. There are websites that can give you 10,000 points, and then there are websites that can give you 1 lakh points. Okay, there are websites that can give you how many points? 1 lakh points. That means if you get one backlink from this website, that is equal to 1 lakh points, guys. Okay, let's say there is this person who has got 100 backlinks, but he has got 10 backlinks. All the 10 backlinks are coming from this 1,000 points wala website, like Mohit Rathi ka website. And then there is your competitor right over here. Your competitor has got only one backlink. However, that backlink is coming from this website, which is giving him 1 lakh points. Okay. Now, example for 1,000 points can be mohitrathi.in, etc., etc., etc. Example for 10,000 points is Times of India and all of this other news article, news portal websites. Take a guess which website can give you 1 lakh points. Okay, it is a little tricky. Which website can give you 1 lakh points? Basically, it is .gov, .edu, and .mil. Okay, MIL से तो मिलना बहुत मुश्किल है, so I won't put it across. .gov and .edu. If you get a backlink from .government website, so Google says even government is recommending you, then who are we to stop you? Okay, so that is how Google functions now. And then .edu is educational institutions, etc., etc., Harvard.edu and all of this. But the next important question is, how will you get a backlink from .gov.edu? Well, guys, it is very difficult, but it is not impossible. And that is something that is there in the course, that how do you get backlinks, even from Times of India for that matter, how do you get backlinks? Okay. Now, guys, one thing that I want you to remember over here is there is no pointing system like this. ये point system मैंने बनाया है. I have created this point system only for your understanding. Instead, In digital marketing we call it as DA. Okay, DA is nothing but domain authority. Okay, ये .gov.edu इन सब का क्या होता है, डोमेन अथॉरिटी बहुत ऊपर होता है. टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया का भी हाई डोमेन अथॉरिटी होता है और ये लो या मीडियम डोमेन अथॉरिटी के अंदर आता है. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे दिस आर द थिंग्स दैट यू नीड टू कंसिडर. ओके, यू नीड टू कंसिडर द डोमेन अथॉरिटी. आप जहां से भी बैकलिंक ले रहे हो उस वेबसाइट का आपको क्या कंसिडर करना पड़ता है, सबसे पहले डोमेन अथॉरिटी कंसिडर करना पड़ता है. डोमेन अथॉरिटी के लिए थोड़े टूल्स होते हैं जैसे मॉस बार हो गया, तो वो आपको उस वेबसाइट का डोमेन अथॉरिटी बता देगा. स्पैम स्कोर थ्रेशोल्ड इज 6%. दैट मींस उस वेबसाइट के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा स्पैमी कंटेंट नहीं रहना चाहिए, रिलेवेंस रहना चाहिए. जैसे टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया आपको अगर एक बैकलिंक दे रहा है, किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में दे रहा है, उस आर्टिकल का रिलेवेंस होना चाहिए. एंड यू नीड टू ऑल्सो फिगर आउट हाउ मेनी नंबर ऑफ बैकलिंक्स आर रिक्वायर्ड. ऐसा नहीं है कि पूरी जिंदगी बैकलिंक्स बना के बैठना है. फर्स्ट यू नीड टू फिगर आउट हाउ मेनी गॉडडैम बैकलिंक्स आर रिक्वायर्ड. So that is called as total number of backlinks required. Backlinks के अंदर भी दो तरीके के backlinks होते हैं guys, follow और no follow. Now this is little technical. I want you guys to stay with me for 5 minutes and I'll explain you what exactly is follow and no follow. Okay, so let's say again Mr. A and Mr. B. There are two people over here, Mr. A and Mr. B. Both are right over here. अब Mr. A को कौन बैकलिंक दे रहा है? मिस्टर ए को बैकलिंक दे रहा है मोहित राठी, बैकलिंक दे रहा है. तो मोहित राठी का भी एक पर्सनल डीए होता है, राइट? मोहित राठी की वेबसाइट का भी डोमेन अथॉरिटी होता है. लेट्स से मोहित राठी का डीए है 30 and when Mohit Rathi is giving a backlink to Mr. A, Mohit Rathi is what Mohit Rathi is doing is उनका डीए 30-1 हो जाएगा, उनका डीए हो जाएगा 29. और ये मिस्टर ए जिनका डीए था 14, उनका हो जाएगा 14+3 या 14+2 whatever it is. तो इनका डीए बढ़ के कितना हो जाएगा? 16 हो जाएगा. Now you see, मोहित राठी का डीए बहुत हाई था 30, बट उन्होंने धीरे धीरे सबको बैकलिंक देना शुरू कर दिया और उनका पर्सनल डीए रिड्यूस होता जा रहा है. Now nobody wants the domain authority of their website to be reduced, right? Let's say my example itself, I don't want the domain authority of my website to be reduced. However, I also want to give a backlink to Mr. A because Mr. A is a very close friend of mine और Mr. A का कंटेंट बहुत अच्छा है, मुझे Mr. A को बैकलिंक देना है. At the same time, I don't want to lose out my domain authority. So that time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Mr. A no follow backlink. Okay, no follow backlink. अब ये no follow होता क्या है? Usually people think that no follow बोले तो अगर कोई क्लिक करेगा तो भी redirect नहीं होता. नहीं guys, वैसा नहीं होता है. It works very similar to a hyperlink. If people click on it, they get redirected. However, in no follow backlink, your DA is not getting transferred. Okay, आपका क्या? आपका डोमेन अथॉरिटी जो है आपकी वेबसाइट का, वो दूसरे बंदे को ट्रांसफर नहीं हो रहा है. अगर ट्रांसफर होता है तो उसको अपन फॉलो बोलते हैं. ठीक है, एंड द वन विच आई वाज टेलिंग यू कि मोहित राठी के पास 30 था, -1 होता जाएगा, तो इसको हम लिंक ब्लीडिंग भी बोलते हैं. इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? दिस इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज लिंक ब्लीडिंग, वेर इन योर डोमेन अथॉरिटी वॉज वेरी वेरी हाई बट यू स्टार्टेड गिविंग पीपल फॉलो बैकलिंक एंड देन व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज लिंक ब्लीडिंग. आपके जितने भी डोमेन अथॉरिटी था वो सब बाहर जा रहा है, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. अब ये नो फॉलो बैकलिंक कैसे देते हैं? देयर इज ए टेक्निक दैट यू आर सपोज टू यूज. एंड जब आपकी वेबसाइट के ऊपर बैकलिंक्स आ रहे हैं, यू नीड टू मेक श्योर यू आर गेटिंग मोर फॉलो एंड लिटिल लेस नो फॉलो, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. So this is the thing that you need to consider, guys. Now let me come back over here. सबसे पहले आपने कीवर्ड रिसर्च किया. कीवर्ड रिसर्च में यू केप्ट ऑल ऑफ दिस थिंग्स इनटू माइंड एंड एक बार कीवर्ड रिसर्च खत्म हो जाता है तो इसको आप क्लोज कर सकते हो. क्लोज करने के बाद आपको क्या शुरू करना है? उस कीवर्ड के लिए एसईओ शुरू करना है. एसईओ में सबसे पहले ऑन पेज करोगे, फिर ऑफ पेज करोगे, फिर टेक्निकल करोगे. ऑन पेज में क्या क्या करोगे? ऑन पेज इज नथिंग बट समथिंग टू डू ऑन योर वेबसाइट. इसका 30% वेटेज है, 20+ फैक्टर्स है जो मैंने इन डिटेल एक्सप्लेन किया है. एंड देन ऑफ पेज करोगे समथिंग टू डू आउटसाइड योर वेबसाइट. इसका वेटेज कितना है? 60%. बैकलिंक होता है सोशल सिग्नल. सो सोशल सिग्नल इज बेसिकली ऑल ऑफ योर सोशल मीडिया अकाउंट्स में क्या एंगेजमेंट है, बट दिस कैरीज ए लिटिल लेसर वेटेज. ओके, हाउएवर दिस इज ऑल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट. यहाँ पे बैकलिंक्स है. Backlinks में things to consider: domain authority, spam score, relevance, total number of backlinks required. There are two types of backlink: follow and no follow. जब भी backlink आ रहा है तो you need to make sure कि follow आ रहा है, but sometimes no follow आएगा तो भी चलेगा. So that is fine. Link bleeding याद रखिए. And then there is something called as technical SEO. It is nothing but you need to set up a few technical files, etc., etc., etc. तो ये SEO होता है guys. ठीक है, ये सब कर दिया तो यहाँ पे आ जाते हैं. Let's go back over here. Yes, thank you guys. We'll end it over here.